A little Beck for you this early Monday morning. That was Scarecrow. Before that, we had Arabella by the Arctic Monkeys. And then leading off that set, we had Alive Tonight by Grace Potter. I guess she's putting out a new album by herself. And I heard that song earlier today, and I thought, that's a goodie. That's a goodie. All right, so it's right around 11 o'clock, and you're tuned into the XWXLVradio.com. This is the Morning After Show, and I'm I Hate Kate, and I'm here with you every Monday morning from 9 a.m. until noon. And if you like what you're hearing, which why wouldn't you, tell a friend, because friends don't let friends listen to bad internet radio. Right, Matt?
Oh, yes, I've been here the entire time. Hi, how's it going?
Hi, we're joined today by Matthew Folger. What's going on, Matthew?
I woke up very early to do this, so be happy.
Well, what's early for you?
Considering I don't go to bed till like 4 a.m. sometimes, it was, pretty early.
Fairly early. All right.
Fairly early, yes.
Well, thank you, Matthew. I appreciate it.
You're very welcome.
And I know the listening audience is appreciative of it as well. Now, you said you were listening this morning because you listen every Monday morning.
Of course.
Okay.
Of course, who wouldn't?
And you, I don't know the answer to that. And you heard that I have a new boyfriend.
I did. I heard the precursor to all your new boyfriend talk.
Yeah, I posted his picture on Facebook. You should check it out. He's very good looking.
Oh, I assume so. Yeah. So did you have to go to a shelter to get him, or
no? He came.
Boyfriend shelter.
He came to me. I just opened the door and there he was. No, I'm watching him for a friend, and I've fallen in love.
What a terrible friend! You're watching the boyfriend for the friend, and you're just getting all in love with him, talking about moving in and putting up pictures of yourself and all these. I think it's gonna be fine.
I don't think they're gonna mind at all.
Oh, all right.
He's probably a problem for them at this point.
Relationship.
They have an open relationship. All right, so Matt, you're doing good things out there. What's going on in your life?
Well, right now I'm here to talk about Good Morning Lehigh Valley.
Well, good morning, Lehigh Valley.
Yes, it's a terrible name on purpose.
I know.
It is a sketch comedy show that I wrote and directed, and we're doing it. We did it on April 4th, and we sold out, and it was pretty well received, I think.
Where was it?
It was at Arts Quest.
Arts Quest, okay.
Arts Quest in Bethlehem, yes.
Now, when you say sold out, give me a number. How many people is that,
the
approximately?
theater itself held 100 tickets, and we actually were over capacity because we had to put chairs in.
Seriously?
For certain people who, didn't have to pay because they're in the group.
Okay, all right. That's awesome.
It was a great night, I think.
Okay.
So that's why we're doing it again on May 2nd.
Now, this is also at Arts Quest.
Also at Arts Quest, yes.
Okay. Now, can you go online and find?
You can go to steelstacks.org.
Okay.
And you can just click on the shows, click on comedy, and it will be there with all the great other comedy shows that Steel Stacks does.
Okay. Now, are there images? Are there pictures from that evening? Are they posted on there?
No, not from the show itself.
You're slacking, Matthew.
I know. Well,
you're slacking.
Trust me, I was on the side of the theater having a heart attack the entire time because I'm trying to get everything together.
Yeah,
so
I get it.
I'm sorry I didn't have time to pull my phone out and
don't apologize to me.
Twit pic.
Don't apologize to me. All right, so you wrote this and you directed it.
I did, yes.
Okay. Were you in it?
Very briefly.
Okay.
I wanted to stay as behind it as I could without being too much in front of it.
Okay, well, that's interesting. Matthew, I know you know this because you follow everything that I do. I also wrote and directed and starred in something a few months. Well, last month, a few months. Feels like months. And unlike you, I didn't want to be behind the scenes. I wanted to be front and center. I want people to know. I want the spotlight at all times.
The truth is, I don't think I'm a good actor. That's the God's honest truth.
Whatever.
Okay, but I will say there are people far better than I am at it.
Well, there's people far better than everybody at something, so.
Okay, but I wanted to put as many really good people in front as I could and stay where I think I'm really good, which is behind it.
All right, so you're asking me to be in it. Okay, fine. I'll do it.
That was discussed.
It was discussed.
It was discussed, but it was just a little
too late. Too late in the game. Now, tell me who's in the cast.
In the cast, we have as Larry Vaughn, we have Anthony DeSanctis, who is a member of the Associated Mess, which is the group, of course, that is technically putting it on.
Okay.
He also works at Arts Quest. He works at Applebee's. He's a great guy. As Kathy Pearson, the role that might have gone to you. Had this person not been available, is Sid Stauffer.
You know what? My hat's off to Sid. If anybody were to replace me, I'm glad it was her.
You are such a sucker.
I think she's fantastic. I watched her play. Well, of course she is, because that's why you cast her.
Yes.
I'm sorry to interrupt you, but she played Hillary Clinton.
Yes.
That was amazing.
I wrote that as well.
Did you write that?
Back then, the America the Beautiful show.
America the Beautiful.
I wrote every scene she was in as Hillary Clinton.
She was fantastic. Okay, so okay, who else is in the cast?
As Tom Bradley, the portly, jolly weatherman, we have Richie Warmkessel.
He's in it?
He's in it.
I love him.
I know. I love him, too. He's honestly probably one of the funniest people I know. He's amazing. He... Really, I don't want to, badmouth anybody else in the show, but he was definitely the strongest performer because he's one of those people who can take a line that's just like, yeah, I know, and make you, just the way he says it is brilliant, and you can't copy that. So
yeah, I know.
That's why I was very happy when he said he would do it.
He's great.
Yes, he's amazing.
I've worked with him, I think, just once. But once you work with them, that's
once
it.
Once is not enough, Kate. once with Richie is not enough.
It's not. Now, he listened a couple weeks ago. He has a real job, and he works on Monday mornings.
Yes.
So he's not able to listen. So that's the full cast, including you.
Well, and then we have other members of the Associated Mess who are guests on the show. And that's kind of where the sketch element comes in. Because we have them coming in, and it's basically a different sketch every time a new guest arrives.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yes.
So this show changes.
I wouldn't say it changes. It's just they bring in, like a sports reporter.
Okay.
They bring in people doing a specific show at the Banana Factory that I feel like I can't say on the radio what it is.
All right.
We have an entertainment reporter. There's, a Hollywood actress. So we have all sorts of guests in it. Okay. And I have to stop slapping my knee because it's reading on the radio.
It's okay. I like it. This is some knee slapping fun that we're having here. Okay. Now, can you tell me what was the inspiration for you to write this? I
always wanted to just write and direct a show and put it on. I've always wanted to do that, never had the opportunity. And it looked like Ryan Hill, who I'm sure you know, needed Saturday night shows for Steel Stacks.
Oh.
And I just pitched him the idea of this, weird talk show setup and all that, and he went with it.
Okay.
So I don't know if there was really like a spark that made me go, oh, I have to do that. It was just an idea that I had, basically.
All right.
And, over the course of a couple months, I worked it out, and then in about 3 weeks, I wrote the script, and there it is.
Do you find that you work really well under pressure?
Yes.
Okay.
I hate bragging, but I feel like I do. I feel like I work pretty well with a very limited time.
Yeah, I think that creative mind, I think it needs that, a little fire.
Mm-hmm. Well, because the entire time I'm writing, I said, all right, I have to have it done by this.
By 8:59 on Monday morning. Yeah.
By a specific date, it has to be done, so I just did it.
Okay, I get it. Yeah, that's how I was, too. I find that I can write. It's kind of easy for me. Many things are very hard. Like I'm very bad at driving a car.
Well, you're a girl.
Yeah,
that's what happens.
I'm very bad at cooking. See, I'm a girl. I should be able to,
breaking the stereotype down.
I know, many things. Just terrible at many things. But I can write.
Oh.
And I sit there and boom, it just flows, Now, do you find that for you? Do you find that there's a lot of rewrites? How is your writing process?
There's a lot of editing after the fact. There was a lot of stuff that I wanted to do that I was like, that's not good. We're not doing that. But in terms of how it comes out, I sit there for a while thinking about it, definitely. But it eventually, I've somehow always managed to figure it out and make it work, I think. Especially in this show, I think it went very well.
That's very exciting. So now you did it just it was supposed to be the one night, but it was so well received that you're putting it on again.
We're putting it on again, yes.
And then we'll see what happens at this point?
We will. It's going to be really difficult to duplicate the success of that night. I'm very well aware of that.
Yeah.
But I would like, a decent-sized audience to come because I want as many people to see it and also to see the hard work everyone else put into it because they worked a lot harder than I did, let's be honest.
Yeah, let's be honest. For once.
They had to memorize things. I didn't.
Yeah.
I had one scene.
You have one job. Okay.
Yes.
All right. So let's put on, you like this song, you requested this song.
I did request this,
And I asked you, Matt, you're a really good guest because I was like, pick out music and bring it with you.
Mm-hmm.
And you did.
I did.
Yeah. Thank you, Matt.
You're welcome.
For that. Okay, so we'll play this song and then we'll be right back with some more Matthew Folger. I'm free to do what I want. Any old time. How about you, Matt?
I'm sitting here and just waiting to talk.
Okay.
So I'm not.
Okay. That was the Soup Dragons. I'm free. Oh, you know what we forgot to do? I forgot to ask you for another song. We were talking that whole time.
Oh, of course we were.
Sorry about that. Okay. So anyway, if you're just joining the program, I'm here with Matthew Folger, who hails from, where do you live, Matt?
I live in Fountain Hill now.
Oh, you do?
Yes.
Okay. Now, you wrote, directed, and had a teensy-weensy role.
Very teensy-weensy. I wanted to keep myself out of it.
Good morning, Lehigh Valley.
Good morning, Lehigh Valley, yes.
Now, you think this is going to turn into something like, I'm really excited for you because I feel like it's going to be something really, really good.
Again, I don't like predicting things because that's what I used to do. Like, obviously no one knows this, but I was on this show 4 years ago.
Everyone knows that.
Everyone knows. They have to. They listen religiously. Hello. But I was on this show 4 years ago promoting my self-produced comedy album.
It was really good.
Okay.
It was.
Okay, but here's the thing. I look back on that now and go, the problem I had at that time was I was doing stand-up to go to something else. Mm-hmm. That was always I'll do stand-up and then I'll go to that and that and that. And I think that's probably why stand-up fell off for me because I just didn't have the passion for it that I think you need.
Yeah.
And like writing and directing, I think I have a much bigger passion for that.
Yeah, I think you're onto something. Well, you know what? Let's go on the Wayback Machine. You and I both did stand-up.
We did, yeah.
And I think it was probably right around the same. I think we shared a stage.
About 2009 to 2011 was when I did it. That's right when I met you. So yeah, right around then.
Right around then. And it's stand-up is it's a tough thing anyway.
Very.
But it's even harder for women. You got to admit that. Come on, buddy. Come on. Come on, Matthew.
Okay. Part of it is, I think if you're a really funny female comic, you can go really far because...
Agreed.
Let's be honest, a lot of them have kind of the same, like, well, my boyfriend was,
Yes.
They don't, go into too much depth about things or talk too emotionally. It's just like, well, I went to the hair salon. I don't want to stereotype, obviously.
Seems like you are. Seems like you want to.
But that's you see,
I agree.
There's a lot of female comics who do that kind of material, which is fine, but it's hard to stand out when you do that.
Yeah.
So I think if you're a female comic who has a lot of, really, original material that no one else is doing, you can go very far, but that's the same with guys because there's a lot of guys doing the same material.
But you have to admit that there's more men than there are women.
Oh, yeah. Oh, definitely. There's definitely
like triple
more
the
men.
Amount or something
There's
like that.
There's definitely more men in comedy than there are in women, yes.
So,
than there are in women.
I get it. All right. So, Matt, you have another thing, I think, still going on online. You have this little show. You want to talk to that?
Oh, I do want to talk about that. It is for wrestling fans.
Oh.
I am one of them.
Okay.
It is a show called Smart Mark Roommates, and I do it with my friend Adam Nystrom, and it is basically a weekly episodic show about two wrestling fans who live together.
It's really good.
Oh, well, you're not even a wrestling fan.
I know.
So, and if you can enjoy it, I think anyone can.
You know what? That's a good testament to your show. Now, I do still have three brothers. I grew up with them, and I did watch wrestling.
Right.
There was Hulk Hogan,
of course.
Randy, Macho Man Savage.
Randy Savage.
I can do it. Oh yeah. I think I do it better than you.
Of course. I'll give it up. Yes.
Okay.
You do.
All right. Perfect. Thanks. And I watched some of those episodes. So Adam, is he doing stand up anymore? I remember he quit.
No, he did. Me and him probably quit around the same time. I mean, I briefly went back and tried to do it again, but that's when I really realized, all right, this isn't what I want to do.
Okay.
But he's right now going to school for writing.
Oh, he is?
Yes, and he's doing a whole bunch of different writing gigs and things like that.
Sweet.
So he's got his own stuff going on.
All right, good. And I really do enjoy the show. Now, it's a weekly show?
We put it out every week, yes.
You do?
We do. I mean, the episodes are only like 2 or 3 minutes long.
Doesn't matter.
But yes, we put it out every week.
Who's the editor? Who does the video editing?
I do all that, yes.
Really? Mm-hmm. Now, you have all the equipment to do like podcasts and things like that?
I have a microphone,
okay.
if that's
that
what
counts.
you mean.
That's all you need, I guess. Oh, that's interesting. So are you thinking about moving in that vein at all, or are you just sticking with...
We're talking about maybe doing like full-length commentaries to things and putting those out. And I don't know if we'd have the time to do a weekly show and a podcast that's like, on a regular basis.
That's a lot of time, yeah.
It's a lot of time. And trust me, I wish I had more time to do everything that I wanted to, but I don't.
Well, let me give you some advice. Quit your day job.
Oh.
Just stop working.
I can't.
Come on,
the
Matt.
The people at the gas station need me,
They
Kate.
do need you.
Yes, that's where I work.
I know. I definitely want to talk about that. But give me, look on your little list that you wrote. You got to give me another song.
Yes.
We should have done this when we were off the air. But I did like how you gave me the first song. You're like, it's that song. And then you played it for me.
Because I didn't want to confuse you. I wanted to make sure I had the right title.
You want to confuse me. Don't lie to the listening audience. They know what's going on.
Okay. Well, go ahead.
Oh, no, go ahead. You got one?
I do have one.
What is it?
I want to hear Your Woman by Whitetown.
Oh, is this something that I'm going to know?
You probably will. It was a very popular song back in 97, and it has one of those beats that'll just stick with you till you die.
Oh, perfect.
Till you die.
You never know, Matt.
You never know.
We
might not come back after this song.
You never know what's going to happen.
No clue.
All right. So Your Woman by Whitetown.
By Whitetown.
Okay. So stick around, listen to this song, and we'll be right back with some more of Matthew Folger. I do remember that song, Matt.
Of course.
Your Woman by Whitetown. Was that a subliminal message to me that you could never be my woman?
Never.
Okay.
Never, Kate.
Perfect.
Ever.
Perfect.
I cannot take the place of Milo.
Okay. No, you never could. It is impossible.
I can. He can do so much that I simply can't.
He has that one tooth. Did you see his picture?
No, I did not. I was driving in, so I didn't.
All right, you should always look at pictures.
And okay, I can't compete with that.
Right?
That is
I just showed you the pictures.
No.
Look at the one tooth hanging out of the bottom of his mouth.
I know. He looks like someone you just want to throw a blanket over and give a sandwich to.
I know. And he's blind. That's why he loves me so much. And then this one, look, we're in the car together.
Oh, but he can't see anything.
He can't see anything.
You scared the crap out of him.
I know.
He doesn't know what a car is. He has no concept of the movement.
No.
So what's happening?
Why is there all this wind in my face?
Yes.
Well, that's what I do to torture animals. Okay, so let's get right to it. I said earlier today, and I know you were listening, that you had a life-changing, horrible experience, and it probably gave you nightmares, and you probably had to get therapy about it. And so I just thought, let's talk about it.
I honestly don't know what you're referencing. I don't think I heard that part.
Really?
Are you talking about the robbery?
I am!
Oh, well,
Woo!
Trust me. I would love to sit here and have like it was harrowing, just thing. Put it right in my face, and I said, no, sir. I would love to say the story was more than that. The fact is, it was a 58-year-old guy.
No.
Yes, it was a 58-year-old man who, I swear to God, when I saw him in court, he had to have been like 5'2", this guy.
Did he wear high heels when he robbed you?
No, he did not. He did, however, come in looking like that old sketch of the Unabomber before they caught him.
Oh.
Where he had like the hood on and the sunglasses.
He did?
Yes, he did.
Now, do you have a sign on the door, please remove your hats and your sunglasses?
No, we don't.
Do you now? You don't have it now?
Still don't.
Okay.
Still don't.
Go on.
Which I'm not going to mention where I work, by the way. Just to say I work at a gas station.
Got it.
I'm not going to say anything too terrible. But yeah, we don't have a sign like that. So he comes in and, I naturally go, what? He's dressed like he's going to rob the place.
So you did notice it right away.
I did notice him right away. But again, you can't instantly go, hey, you.
So you get out of here.
You just have to play it out and let things happen. And then he came up and asked for 2 packs of cigarettes.
What time of night with it? You got to really paint the picture. This is
really
radio.
Paint the picture. Okay.
Yeah.
It was, Kate.
Yes.
It was about 6:30
p.m.
p.m.
Okay.
And it was winter, so it was dark out.
Was it snowy?
Possibly.
Okay.
I don't. No. I think this was closer to fall. I think.
Okay.
Between fall and winter.
I'm still scared though.
We didn't have much fall this year.
All right.
But yeah, he comes into the store and he walks up and asks for 2 packs of cigarettes.
No.
I know. And then he slid a poorly written note over to me.
Did he really?
Yes. Oh, my. He had the handwriting of a 2-year-old, this guy.
Well, he's robbing people. He hasn't really, gone far in life. Go ahead.
The only thing I recognize, this is, and then it looked like...
You're like, I'm sorry, sir. Can you rewrite this?
This is a... And I realized, and then I saw 5, 10, 20. I went, okay, I know what this is. And then he just says, I have a weapon. And that voice, too, by the way.
I have a weapon,
He said it like a substitute teacher. I have a weapon. Like sitting at the head of the class. I'll wait.
Right.
So that's all he said. I have a weapon. And I just, I had never been in that situation before.
Yeah.
And you always think you're going to be, all right, we're not doing that. Not in my city.
Yeah.
See? You always think you're going to do
not
that.
Today.
But I instantly just went into panic. Like, oh, okay. So he says, I have a weapon. And I went, you do?
You did?
I said, you do?
Okay.
He just nodded like, It was his assurance of it. It wasn't, he was like, yeah, so you better. He was just so like, yep, I do. So I gave him what he asked for and he left.
Really?
And he said, thanks for the cash advance. And he walked out.
He said, thanks for the cash advance.
Thanks for the cash advance.
So he didn't like, I really thought you were going to be like bound and gagged. Not that I would have wanted that for you, Matthew, but I think it would have made for
much later that night.
Okay.
No, I'm obviously glad that it wasn't worse, but it doesn't make for a great story when it's
it doesn't, you're right.
A 58-year-old man walked in and robbed me with a piece of paper.
58-year-old midget man.
58-year-old midget man.
Yeah.
He was 5'2" and he was a gambling addict.
Okay. So he said, thanks for the cash advance, and then he walks out.
Then he walked out. It turns out what this guy did was rob the Sheets over on Shingersville Road about 2 nights before that.
Oh, geez.
So, the cops come and they say, hey, well, I don't want to give I don't know if I can give all this information away.
Okay.
I'm sure I can. It was in the paper.
Who cares?
But they said, well, did it look like this guy? And they showed me the picture. I said, yes, him. Then they found him at the Sands.
Seriously?
Yes, 45 minutes later.
After he was done with you?
After he was done with me, he went right to the Sands.
He got his cash advance, and he was like, I'm going to spend this.
I'm going to spend it. And they caught him there. And that was it. He apparently that was the end of it.
So why did you have to go to court? I'm confused.
Initially, it was probably just going to be to, say what happened and all this stuff. But he didn't. Again, that I don't know. But put it this way, there was no trial.
There was no trial.
There was no trial, nothing like that. I was out of there in 15 minutes.
All right, you want some advice?
Sure.
Next time you tell this story, I think that you should definitely say he was taller. And maybe not even bring up the height at all, okay? And I would say he took the gun out and put it in your face.
Oh, okay.
Use that.
I'm taking notes here.
Yeah,
go ahead.
Write that down. And then I would say that he threw you on the ground and he punched you in the face. Oh, which I was supposed to do when you first came in.
Yeah. Well, we can get to that.
We have time.
We can get to the punch in the face.
And then tied you up and he left you there. And then he was like, he said something. You can come out. You're a writer. He said something like really great at the end, like, don't even think about calling the cops, or like, I'll be back for you, or
he looked right in my face and said, I'll have what she's having.
Yes, like that. I think that would make for a much more interesting story.
You got it.
Okay. All right, just next time when you're recanting.
For next time.
Okay.
Which hopefully doesn't happen.
Yeah, jeez. Now what was it like after that? Were you like, I'm not working?
No, I finished the shift.
You did.
I finished the shift.
You're a stronger man than I am. I'd be like, all right, I'm out of here.
Okay, if it had been a worse situation where I was being, guns pointed at me and, being beaten up and anything like that, I might not have. Okay. I might have after that said, you know what, I'm going to take the night. I'm just going to go home.
I'm done with this place.
But anyway, at the end of the day, it was really not that big of a deal. I mean, obviously a robbery is a big deal.
Yeah.
But it wasn't. I at no point felt my life was in danger that night.
All right.
I was just like, I don't want any problems, so here you go. And, it turns out with the amount of time he got, he probably didn't have a weapon anyway.
Yeah, so, probably not.
Yeah.
Liar. He's a liar on top of everything else.
He was a liar and a thief.
I hate that guy.
Yeah.
All right, let's play a song for him. This is a good one. This is like, it's called Fox on the Run.
Fox on the Run.
It's kind of like this guy. He's like on the run.
He was a sly fox who ran.
Yeah. Exactly. This is going out to the midget robber. That's what we'll call him.
Yes.
All right, so let's play the song and we'll be right back with some more Matthew Folger. All right, Fox on the Run, going out to the midget robber.
Yes.
That was by the band.
Wherever you are.
Wherever you are.
If they have online listening in prison.
I think they do. I think they do now.
They have everything.
That band is called Sweet.
Sweet, yeah.
That is sweet.
I don't know if they had that many hits after that. I have no idea. I recently just discovered that
I know
song.
You said that. I wouldn't have admitted to that, Matt. But you do what you want. You do what you want. Now we were talking. I don't normally do that. I'll have you know. When I have a guest on, I usually sit in silence between music.
I get so uncomfortable if that's the case.
Yeah. Well, I do it because usually I've found that when you talk, when the music is on, that's when the magic happens, you know? And then you miss it. So
I'm full of magic.
Okay,
Kate.
I forgot. Yeah, see, I mean,
full of magic.
Clearly, you're sitting there with your top hat and your magic wand. I should have known. Thank you for wearing that, by the way.
I'm the Willy Wonka of radio.
Yeah, I know you are.
Full
All
of
right.
mystery.
So you said right before we came back on the air, we were talking about your work schedule, and you said during your second shift, which you don't normally work, is when the craziness ensues.
When most of the bad things that have ever happened to me at that job have happened to me during second shift.
And then you said the head injury, and you said not mine. Tell me about it.
Well, that was actually a morning thing, but we had someone who went into a seizure because of low blood sugar.
Oh, come on.
And he fell and smacked his head on the tile, opening it up quite a bit.
The tile?
No, his head.
Just kidding.
I gotcha. I get jokes. No, his head opened up. And
what was in there?
Well,
lots of blood.
Hopefully not sugar. I can tell you that. There was no sugar in it.
Did you throw sugar on him?
I didn't know that's what was happening.
You should have sang that song.
If I did, I would have just thrown one of those big yellow, sugar bags at his head.
Peeps are really good in this area.
Peeps.
Yeah, just throw some peeps at him.
Perfect. No, he
next time
fell and opened up his head, and there was a man from the fire department actually said he had never seen that much blood indoors.
Oh, God, really?
Yes.
Okay, so what happened?
Well, it fell on me and my manager who had to come in to...
It meaning the body or the blood?
The body was taken away.
Okay, good.
The blood, however, was our responsibility.
Oh, are you serious?
Yes. Well, because if it had been... Here's what I heard. If it had been outside, the fire department could have helped. Since it's inside, for some reason, they can't. I guess it's because they can clean it off the sidewalk with their little sprays and all this stuff.
Their blood cleaning supplies.
But really, there's no drain for it to go in if it's inside. So it was our job.
Gross.
So, a lot of bleach and a lot of towels, and yeah, I cleaned up a head wound.
Ew.
In my line of duty.
Oh, that's disgusting. Did you ever even think about that when you were taking the job?
No. Well, that was the furthest thing from my mind.
Well, I can tell you this.
I didn't expect it, but I was like, that's always a possibility.
Yeah,
no idea.
Wow.
No idea.
I was working in the mall. I'm so proud to admit that. I was in my mid-20s working in the mall. And
bragging.
I know. And I actually have a college degree, which these days you can get a job at the mall if you have a college degree.
That's true.
So I was working in the mall, and this woman had a seizure. She fell over, had a seizure, and I was working in a clothing store, and this was interesting. And again, they don't prepare you for these things. You think you're just going to sell clothes. You thought you're just going to sell gas, maybe some cigarettes here and there.
Maybe a few.
You never knew you were going to be cleaning up blood. But she falls over, has a seizure, and she starts biting the jeans. She's sticking the jeans in her mouth and biting them. So I go over and I'm like, get off of those jeans! Are you going to pay for those? I slapped her.
You are bad.
I know.
Wow. Making dogs go on car rides they're not unaware of. You're telling, get the jeans out of your mouth, you seizure having.
You jerk. Yeah. Well, you know what? I do what I gotta.
Exactly.
It's
for the job. You have to do it. If you have a job, you have to do it.
Yeah. So. I mean, who's going to buy those jeans after a seizure girl has chewed them all up?
Was she famous?
No.
Okay. Well, because famous, seizure jeans might actually be worth something.
You're right.
If Katy Perry had a seizure in Marshalls and she put jeans in her mouth,
and she's like, "That's a design. You're welcome."
Exactly. Those would go for thousands of dollars.
You know what? I think you're onto something, Matt. I say you and I, let's hit the mall after this and chew on some jeans.
Oh,
okay.
And they'll be like, "Weren't you the guys on the radio? Those must be worth something now."
Right. Exactly. Exactly. See, now you're thinking like I'm thinking.
Exactly.
You're welcome. All right. So, do you have anything else that's going on? Any other good stories? Any other robberies this week or head injuries?
Not this week. Not injuries, no. I'm still with the Associated Mess, however.
Oh, right. Yes. Let's talk about that. Okay. So now this is something that has been around for how long?
Right now, it was created 10 years ago.
I know this.
And there was, some patches where it did and didn't exist, but for the past 6 years, it has existed in the Lehigh Valley as the premier short-form improv troupe.
Okay. Now, something you may or may not know, I auditioned when it came back in town. And Ryan Hill was one of the, I guess, what would you call him? judges?
He was like I forget his title in it, but he did a lot. Put it that way.
He was the man. I think that was his title.
The man.
Ryan Hill, the man.
The man.
So he sat there and judged you while you acted like a fool. Not you. I'm saying like
Ryan
us.
Hill, and if he's listening, he knows this. He has a great judgment face.
He does.
He has the perfect face for judgment.
It's like Simon Cowell.
You can't read it.
Yep.
You cannot read that guy's expression.
You have no idea
all.
what he's thinking. I know. Yeah. So he judges you while you're trying to act the fool. Mm-hmm. And so I auditioned. I did not get in. Mm. You did.
Very later. Yeah, my great grammar.
Mm-hmm. It's good English.
Much later, I got in because it was one of those. All right, we'll take you in on trial thing.
On trial, okay.
But eventually, I was considered a full-fledged member.
Did you need a lawyer when you were on trial?
Yes,
you did. Okay,
mm-hmm. I got the one the midget robber got.
Okay, perfect. And your life has turned around. Mm-hmm. Now you were on trial for a while there, and then what happened? Did they come to you and they're like, "We need you, kid. We need you"?
Yes.
Yeah?
That's what happened. They needed me to save it.
Okay.
No, they just decided, okay, now we believe you're talented enough. Let's start doing shows with you.
All right.
And I did that for about 2 years and then left.
And then you left.
Yes.
Now, this was right around the time, were you doing the comedy album then?
Yes.
Okay.
It was right around that time that, I honestly went away from everything for a couple years.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just plumbed through everything in the trash and just didn't do much for 2 years. And I think part of it was that comedy CD that I did. I was expecting that to be my shooting star to the top.
Yeah.
Because everyone knows you self-produce a comedy CD and your next step, logically, is The Tonight Show.
I was going to say an Oscar. I would think that would be my next. I think that for me.
Again, there were supposed to be steps after that, and there weren't, and that kind of bummed me out.
You really thought you were on the escalator, elevator.
Was on the fast track to stardom.
Yeah.
And it just didn't work out that way. And part of it, I just, felt a little. So
it's depressing.
Yeah, and I kind of lost the,
oomph.
The oomph to do it. Mm-hmm. And that was around the time I realized I'm doing it for the wrong reason. And it took me 2 years to realize, look, if you want to do, writing and directing, just write and direct.
Yeah.
You don't have to go through I should do this and then do this and do that. Just do what you want and hope that works out.
Right. Now, it's interesting that you're coming on the show right around this point in the game. I feel the same way, and I've been talking to a lot of people that are creative in that way, where they like to write and perform and just be inventive and try and do something that other people aren't mm-hmm. doing, or maybe that they've done before, but do it the way that you would want to do it. And there's like ups and downs, and you put your heart and your soul into it, and either it goes well or it doesn't. And for you, it went really, really well.
Well, right now it did.
Right.
Right now things are very, very well. But, back then, around that time, it didn't go as well.
Yeah.
And, I just kind of laid back for a little bit. And I think that time was necessary.
I think so, too.
To get to where I am now, which is right back where I was
right.
4 years ago on your radio show, Kate.
I know. It's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
You're so lucky. No, but I really think you're onto something, and I just feel like the creative powers that be, especially in this area, it's everything that's happening in the steel stacks mm-hmm. and then Allentown, like this area is really being revitalized.
There's a lot going on with that, yeah.
Yeah, and I think comedy is part of it. People want to be. I know you don't know this. People want to be entertained, Matt.
What?
Yes, they want to laugh. Make me laugh, dance, partner. That's what they want.
Well, hopefully we can deliver that again. Associated Mess still going very strong.
Good.
At this point.
Yeah, that's awesome. So now, when is the next show for the Associated Mess?
Next show would be April 25th.
Okay.
And that is at Steel Stacks.
At the Steel Stacks.
Mm-hmm.
Now, like you said, you can just go online.
Go online, look it up. You can look us up on Facebook at The Associated Mess and see all the goings-on that we're doing. Now,
for that, do you have a certain schedule that you have to adhere to with regards to rehearsing?
Every Monday.
Every Monday.
We meet.
So today?
Yes.
Tonight.
So today I'll be seeing everyone later.
Now, this is kind of like, I'm getting you all pumped up. It's like a dress rehearsal. I think just from spending this time with me that you're going to outshine all the others tonight. You know that, right?
Of course.
I know. Well,
you don't have to tell me, Kate.
I do it for you.
I'm so aware.
I do it for you. All right, let's play this song, and then we'll be right back. And then, if you can even believe it, we're almost at the end of the show.
That flew by.
Doesn't it fly by?
It does.
What do they say about time? What do they say about time?
It flies.
When you're having
fun.
In the red hole, and they're never gonna stop it. Rock and roll.
the Reverend Horton Heat.
It is.
Never gonna stop it. That's a good choice there. Good pick there,
I
Matthew.
have a great taste in music, Kate.
Yeah, yes, you do. Now, if you're just tuning in, well, that's a shame because it's almost the end of the show. But we're here with Matt Folger, and Matt hails from Fountain Hill.
Well, I hail from Bethlehem, Fountain Hill. I've lived all over the city.
The Lehigh Valley.
Jack of many locations. Yeah, I guess you could say.
You know what? That's what we should say about you. Here comes Matthew Folger.
I've lived everywhere, ma'am. I've lived everywhere.
That's this guy. Now, you're part of the Associated Mess.
I am.
You are a writer and director and actor and comedian. God, you think you're better than me? Is that what's happening?
Of course.
What? Get out!
Of course I'm better than you.
No,
I think I'm better than no one. I just try to do what I do. That's humble man answer.
Humble man answer. Good.
I'm just trying to do what I do and have fun.
Oh, I'm excited for you. I think it's onward and upward, and I think your CD. I think you might want to revisit that at some point. I thought it was really very good, and I'm not just saying that.
I think I'm kind of happy that I'm not as a big a fan of the CD as I used to be, because I think it means I'm growing.
You are growing.
I'm looking at stuff I did years ago and going, I could have done that so much better.
That means that you're advancing. Any artist, they evolve.
Yes.
So you're evolving. That's the word I was looking for.
I'm just not lazy anymore.
You're just not lazy anymore.
That
Congratulations.
was one of my biggest problems.
Now, yeah, I think everybody has that kind of. Well, it's a fear of failure. There's so many things that go along.
Well, because if you try, you could fail.
That's
always going to be the thing.
And that is frightening. Frightening. The very first time I ever did comedy, ever, and forgive me if I told you this story before, but I'm going to tell you again.
Okay.
It's my show. I do what I want.
Of course.
I got up. I was working in a restaurant, and we had a night where a female comedian was coming in. It was ladies' night. Oh. So all of the audience members were going to be women, and they had like a, 5-course meal or something like that, and they had a female comedian that came in and did comedy for an hour, and then my boss, who was the owner of the restaurant, he was I was always telling jokes in the back, telling stories, and he was like, Kate, you should go out there and open for the comedian. I was like, oh God, I could never do that. And he's like, I'll pay you. I'm like,
while you're grabbing the microphone, like, I could never.
Not me, no.
Who here's ever been on a plane?
What's this thing on? And he goes, well, I could pay you. I'm like, well, maybe I could. Maybe I could go out there. And I was supposed to go out and open maybe 5 minutes. I was out for a half hour. It felt so good. People were responding, probably because they felt sorry for me. I received a standing ovation my very first time. So of course I run off that stage. I go back into the kitchen from whence I came, and I was like, I'm going to Hollywood.
Yes, I did. Well, the first time I did it, it was at Godfrey Daniels in South Bethlehem.
Yes.
I think it was 2007 I did it. And the first time I went up, I killed.
Did you?
I really did. Yeah. It was so I walk away from it. I'm like, oh my God, like this is it. I'm going. Yep. I'm in. So they did this open mic. I forget how often, but I went the next time with the biggest head you could possibly imagine.
I can imagine it.
And I bombed.
Yeah.
I just fell flat on my face because I had, like, the first time you're not thinking about it. Right. You're just doing it.
Yeah.
And the next time I had so much confidence, like, whatever I do, it's going to be hilarious.
It's golden.
So I'm sitting there, like, and I'm trying to do, like, the Bill Hicks thing. I'm, like, drinking on stage and ranting about the government. And I'm like, that's not you. What are you doing?
Were you having this conversation with yourself on stage?
As soon as I saw the video of it, yeah. Oh. Like, you better film this one, too, because that's going to be crazy. And I saw the video. I'm like, dude, yeah, that's not you. Why are you doing that?
Now, I know. Now, when you get up and you do well, you're like, it's the highest high you can possibly imagine. And then when you do bad, you want to kill yourself.
The lowest low imaginable.
Imaginable, really.
Like, I did a show in, I think Percy, it's called.
Yes.
Percy, Pennsylvania.
I used to live there.
With a comedian named Randy Tong. Now, the woman who put this show together, I knew her better than Randy knew her.
Okay.
So she put me as the headliner, which Randy had been doing it way longer. He was way funnier.
Oh, wait, you were that just registered. Okay, you were the headliner.
Yes.
All right.
So he deserved to go on last and be the one who closes the show because he was far better. And I told her, look, and when I showed up that day, you can't have me last. You can't. And she goes, well, the marketing material already says that, so that's how it's going. So keep in mind, I was maybe a year into comedy, maybe a year.
Oof.
And I'm supposed to go up and do a half hour.
You're just a baby.
Yes. So Randy goes on before me, does a killer 25,
Right before
minutes.
you? Right before you?
Oh, he was great because he always was. He was always great.
I know.
So he did, this fantastic set, and then I get up there, hey, I would always forget what I wanted to say.
Yes.
So I would sit there and go, what else do I want to talk to you guys about?
Does anybody know?
Just going through the Rolodex in my head.
Oh, it's terrible.
My bits, and I don't remember them.
Oh, I know. I can feel your pain.
It got to the point where after 10 minutes, Randy appears at the back of the room and just waves me over like, dude, come on.
Oh,
let's stop.
The wave.
Go finish whatever you're doing and
wrap it up.
Get off now.
Oh,
Because
God.
he knew I was dying up there. He knew it. And then we all sat in the bar area, me, him, and the woman who promoted it, and had the most uncomfortable meal of our lives.
God,
None of us talked. We just sat there like, this. Oof.
It's the worst.
Yeah, and
it's the worst.
He was just like, dude, I forget what his advice was at the time, but it was like, he knew I shouldn't have gone on last, and I knew it too.
Yeah.
But that was an experience that I learned from.
Yes, of course.
You can't jump into this is how awesome I am now,
right.
and I wasn't ready.
It's such a tough thing, and I think people think that comedy is very easy because the people that are good at it make it look really easy.
It look very easy. There's a lot of people it just comes naturally too.
Yeah.
And you can't duplicate that, especially on a stage. Like, I get very nervous on stage.
Oh my God,
that's
me
just
too.
How it is.
Ugh,
and it's one thing when, if I'm performing with the Associated Mess, if I'm nervous, I have other people to bounce off of.
Right.
So that at least that way, look, if it's not going well, it's not going well together.
Right.
Put it that way.
Yeah.
When you're doing stand-up, it's
all
just
you
up there.
It's
That's
all
it.
you. Help me.
And all the uncomfortableness and just the dour feeling of the room that you create, it's all on you.
I know.
So, and you have to just sit there and be like, I have 10 minutes left. That was, and again, it was something I always did to move to other things. So I said, let's just do other things.
Let's just do other I was up one time and I actually had this guy, drunk guy, get off the stage, you suck, you suck, get off. And no,
I'm sorry I did that, by the way. I didn't mean it.
Matt, this is how I wanted to bring it up. I thought we'd talk about it live on the air, but that was the worst ever. Mm-hmm. I actually stopped doing comedy. I stopped doing anything for about 10 years.
Yeah.
I really did, because I was like, this drunk guy's right. That Matthew Folger guy, he's right about me.
I know. It was how long ago? How long was this?
Jeez, I don't even remember. But I did get back into it.
I was going to say, if you were out of it for 10 years, I must have been 14 when I was drunk yelling at you.
You were 14. All right, duly noted. You're way younger than me.
Oh, but not by much.
Way younger, but not by much. I did have a question that I really wanted to ask you. It's really important.
Sure.
I was thinking about words the other day, and you, since you're in the Associated Mess, you have to come up with them. You just have to think of words. It's called improv, which I am terrible at. I'm terrible.
I wouldn't say that.
No, I am. Trust me on this one. Radio is one thing, but having you use your body and perform in front of people, not good. I have auditioned for the Associated Mess. I believe we're going on 4 or 5 times now at this point. And every time I go into an audition, it doesn't matter what the audition is. I'm like, hi, my name's Kate, and I'm really bad at auditioning. I just want to let you know. So I set it up for them.
To be honest with you, I have. Well, there's some people who are more comfortable talking like this, just as people, as themselves. There's other people who are way more comfortable slipping into a character and not having to be themselves and doing things like that. So I think it all depends on, your personality, really. And
I need to get a new one
here, but maybe just, maybe not as a character.
Improv is not my
trying
thing.
to come up with it.
No, not on the spot. I can't do it. And I found that out really very, very fast. But I was thinking about words and how you have to just come up with them. You come up with accents and things like that. Do you have a favorite word, one that you just like to throw in there?
Oh, I can't say it on here.
Right. I know what your favorite word is. Do you have another favorite word, a number 2 favorite word?
I say absolutely a lot.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, I say that quite often.
Do you have a word that you like that's really fun? A big one that you're like, this person's gonna think I'm really smart if I say this word.
Oh my God! Hold on, I have to think.
I know it's
it's because I do it so often.
Improv.
I can't think of one specifically, but I'm always. What's a word that I throw out when I want people to think I'm smart.
Oh, God. I know.
I do it.
I actually want
dichotomy.
Dichotomy.
Yes. If there's two things that are completely different, I don't say, well, they're completely different. I go, there's a great dichotomy there.
That's great.
And everyone thinks I'm college level, and I'm not.
Right. You're like, fooled you again.
At a gas station.
Well, I can't think of the favorite word. It was going to be something that was awesome. It was like a lot of syllables, but I can't remember it right now. So I'll tell you my favorite word that I like to type.
Okay.
Chocolate. Did you ever type that word? Try it out.
Not as often.
It's fantastic.
Not as often as you'd think based on my appearance. I don't have to type that word.
Get in there, type it out. It's fantastic. You're all over the keyboard. I highly recommend typing chocolate. Chocolate. Okay, so Matt, we're coming to the end of the show, and once again, let's do pluggersons.
Pluggies.
Let's hear about your show one more time. Good morning, Lehigh Valley.
Good morning, Lehigh Valley. It is a sketch comedy show / it has a play element to it as well. That is Saturday, May 2nd, 10:30 p.m. at Arts Quest.
Okay.
Also, the Associated Mess. We're there every second and fourth Saturday at 10:30 p.m. So make sure you come check that out.
Okay.
And if you are a wrestling fan or just a fan of funny TV show or funny internet shows put on by two guys who don't get paid for it, check out Smart Mark Roommates on YouTube.
Now, I always like to see when people go on dating websites and things like that, their profiles are like, loves having fun, loves laughing.
All of them are this. I've seen so many of them, and they're all identical.
Do you ever feel like you want to go on? I'm not on them, but I want to be like, hey, hate laughing. She hates having fun, right? I don't know anybody who doesn't like laughing. And Matt, you make me laugh all the time. So
thank you.
I'm really glad that you're doing this. And what's the date one more time for the
May 2nd?
May 2nd.
Good morning, Lehigh Valley.
And what day is that?
That is a Saturday.
It's a Saturday, 10:30 at night. It starts. Now, if I want to get tickets, I just go online.
Steelstacks.org, and you can look it up under the events tab.
Okay. All right. Awesome. Now, is there anybody you want to give a shout out to? Say hello or goodbye?
How about everyone in the Associated Mess?
All right.
Jen, Michelle, Shelly, Richie, Letitia.
I like
Sam,
how you're using your arms
Sid,
here.
I am.
Sam,
I'm a very
Sid.
theatrical person.
I know. I love it.
Adam. Shout out to Adam, my Smart Mark roommate's brother.
Yes.
Shout out to my other brothers, my real ones.
The
Adam,
real brothers.
John, my sister, Sarah,
Yay.
Rachel. My mother, my father.
The doctor that delivered me. Hello.
Yes, I don't even know his name.
Doesn't matter.
But hey, how's it going? Hope you're not dead.
Hey there. All right. So thank you so much for coming on, Matt. Will you come back?
I appreciate you. Oh, absolutely.
Okay, perfect. All right. So it's almost noon, and you've been listening to the Morning After Show on WXLV. And if you're really smart, you know how to download an app, and you found us on iHeartRadio. Congratulations. You're doing a really good thing. Like I said, this is the Morning After Show, and I'm I Hate Kate, and I'm here with you every Monday morning from 9 a.m. until noon. Today, we were joined by my very special guest and very funny guest, Matthew Folger, who you're going to do good things.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
It's because you came on this show, it's onward and upward. That's all I have to say.
All right.
Now, you wanted me to play this song?
I do. I'm a big fan of the Rocky soundtrack.
Okay, and this goes out to your Good Morning Lehigh Valley.
My Good Morning Lehigh Valley people.
All right.
Make sure you come out May 2nd.
That's true, May 2nd. I'll be there. I'm coming.
All right.
10:30.
I look forward to
That's
seeing
my
you
go
again.
time. All right. Like I always say, it's a great big world out there. Get out there and do something amazing in it.